Hey, it's the K-Man breaking out the soldering iron for this episode to put in a special little chip which lets you go and play discs from all regions on the Gamecube and even a few other cool things like homebrew and exciting stuff like that. My Australian Gamecube that I'm going to go and mod does need a little bit of work on it, like this button which for some reason just doesn't seem to want to go and pop out. And on the back, the previous owner did leave the digital port looking like that, so it's a bit of a mystery. I don't know if you could do that, but anyway, we'll go fix that one up. To get into the Gamecube, you're going to need one of these special security screw tips, and yeah, you might find you might need the entire hardware store to get into this particular Gamecube. The first time I tried it didn't work, so I had to go and pull out a more skinnier screwdriver so I could get right down deep inside there. The Gamecube just lifts off easy as once you got them all unscrewed, and I thought this would be a good time to give that little reset switch a bit of a fix. It seemed to have caught a little bit of gunk inside, so a little bit of an in and out seemed to do the trick, and of course a bit of compressed air can never hurt to get all that dust blown away. So now that the button's been sorted out, time to go back to disassembling the Gamecube so we can get to the actual part that we need to, which basically involves undoing way more screws than you thought you'd ever have to from looking on the outside. They, really went all out on this. Also, a good recommendation is to pull out the screws in these brackets so you at least know where 4 of those screws are supposed to go. And you know that you finally hit success with finding all the screws because the top will just lift off easy as. So yeah, as I was saying, you do need quite a fair bit of screwdrivers just to get into the Gamecube. And next up, because we do want to work on the underside of this, put a bit of paper over the top just to protect that laser. And you guessed it, some more screws to undo, but yeah, that metal shield lifts off easy as. And before we go and solder that mod chip onto the PCB, we want to clean it with compressed air and alcohol. Oh no, that one is not for the PCB. No, we want to use the isopropyl alcohol, which as you can see does get quite a fair bit of gunk off the bottom there. So here's that tiny little Xeno mod chip, and here's where you're supposed to solder it onto. It can be surface mounted, but it is much easier going and doing all the wiring up so that you don't have to try and do that. I did choose wires that were a little bit too long, although they did make it much easier for me to solder it all in. And then once it's all done, you go and secure it into the bottom there, making sure that it's insulated from anything else that could short it out, and I definitely went overboard on that. So now here's the test to see if I've gone and broken the Gamecube. So we'll play an Australian Mario Kart, and hopefully, well, that's a good sign that we've got the Gamecube popping up, and an even better sign would be the Nintendo sign. And there you go, it looks like I haven't broken the Gamecube. So it means the next test is to see if the mod chip is making a difference. So I'm going to go and use a Japanese version of WarioWare, which as you can see is working perfectly. And what a beautiful sight to see. The next thing I'm going to try out is this little card that lets you go and plug an SD card into the Gamecube via the serial port. And you probably want a pretty good quality SD card, as the cheaper one that we tried out didn't work so well, but this Class 10 seemed to do quite fine. The mod chip that I soldered in earlier lets you play this unofficial disc that we're going to use to read the SD card. And I've loaded up a copy of Mario Kart since I already own it, and let's have a look at how well this goes. As you can see, the intro video plays completely rubbish, but once you do get into the game, it plays completely fine. The main advantage I do see of playing off your backup copy, it means you're not wearing out your laser, and if something unfortunate does happen to your disc, like it gets scratched, then you still got a copy of the game that you can still play. The last cool feature that these chips have enabled for this Gamecube that I'm going to just tease you with is the Game Boy adapter software, which is really handy. if you've gone and lost the original disc that came with the plug-in adapter, or you just want something a little bit better than what Nintendo actually created for it. So overall, it wasn't too hard to go and mod the Gamecube with this chip, even though it was a little bit of a fiddly soldering exercise. And I'm pretty excited about how it both expands the capabilities of the Gamecube and means a little bit more longevity for the Gamecube as well. If you're keen for videos about new and retro gaming and a variety of, please subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching.